Welcome to Rise Untold. Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, a man who lived loud, loved hard, and never backed down from the edge. He survived it all, or so we thought. But a single message, one haunting text, changed everything. And the man who received it? Piers Morgan. Yes, the outspoken journalist, known for his bravado and biting commentary, was left speechless. Why? Because what Ozzy sent him wasn't just a message. It was a farewell that let's take you behind the moment that shocked even Piers. It was just another day in London media circles. Piers Morgan had wrapped up another recording of his talk show. Headlines were swirling, as they often do around him. But then, pinged out a message from someone he's known for decades. Ozzy Osbourne. Short, raw, final. Piers later told reporters the message felt like a seal on Ozzy's life. Not a cry for help, but a quiet acknowledgement that maybe, just maybe, the curtain was closing. For years, Ozzy's health has been declining. Spinal surgeries to Parkinson's diagnosis, countless hospital visits, canceled tours. Yet somehow, he always rose back up. But lately, things feel different. In recent months, Ozzy's appearances have dwindled. He's withdrawn from events. His once iconic voice, now softer, his stride, slower, and his eyes, distant. That's what made the message so chilling, because it didn't sound like Ozzy giving up. It sounded like Ozzy accepting. Piers didn't reveal the exact words, but he did say it hit like a gut punch. He said it had a tone he'd never heard from Ozzy before. Not dramatic, not attention-seeking, just final. So what does this mean? Was Ozzy Osbourne saying goodbye, or was he simply reflecting, as many do in their twilight years? Let's rewind. Ozzy has always flirted with darkness. From biting the head off a bat to singing about madness and mortality, he built an empire around chaos. But behind the eyeliner and the growl was a man trying to outrun pain, physical pain, emotional wounds, addiction, loss, regret. He's battled all of them and won. But even legends grow weary. In his own words, Ozzy once said, I should have been dead 1,000 times over. But I wasn't. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe this moment, this text, is part of that reason. Maybe he knew that Piers, a man with a platform and a history with him, would share it. Maybe it wasn't just a goodbye to a friend, but a whisper to the world. I'm tired. I've done enough. Remember me now, while I'm still me. For those close to Ozzy, the concern is real. Wife Sharon Osbourne has been fiercely protective, but she's traveled with him constantly, stayed by his side through every surgery. Daughter Kelly has spoken out, saying, he's a warrior. But even warriors need rest. And rest is what Ozzy seems to be choosing. He's canceled his last tour, stepped back from public life, and, most recently, quietly retreated to his estate, surrounded by family, silence, and memories. What haunts people most about this situation isn't just the message. It's what it implies. Because for a man who's always lived loud, this silence is deafening. Piers Morgan's reaction makes it even more serious. He's not a man easily shaken. But when he spoke about the message, you could hear the shift in his voice. It wasn't gossip. It wasn't drama. It was fear. Fear that one of music's most indestructible icons may finally be running out of time. And yet, even now, Ozzy's legacy burns brighter than ever. From Black Sabbath's heavy riffs to solo anthems that define generations. From reality TV with the Osbourne's to becoming the face of rebellion itself. Ozzy is, and always will be, a symbol of survival. But maybe, just maybe, he's ready to rest. And if this really was his last message to the world, sent through a man like Piers Morgan, then we owe him more than just headlines. We owe him peace, gratitude, and space to choose his exit on his terms. As of now, there's been no official update from the Osbourne family regarding his health, but fans across the globe are sending love, prayers, and memories, because when the darkness finally dims, what's left behind is everything he lit up. Ozzy once said, I'm not afraid of dying. I just don't want to be forgotten. He won't be, because legends like Ozzy don't disappear. They echoed in the cracked voices of stadiums screaming his name, in the trembling hands of kids who picked up a guitar because of him. In the black t-shirts, the tattoos, the eyeliner, the rebellion. all inspired by a man who never fit in and never wanted to. They echo in the silence, too. The silence that follows a message like the one Piers received, out of silence, not of absence, but of wait. The kind of silence that makes you stop, think, feel. Because Ozzy wasn't just a rock star, he was a force, that a man who transformed chaos into music, pain into poetry, madness into magic. He lived the kind of life most couldn't even imagine surviving. Drug overdoses, motorcycle accidents, suicidal depression, stage collapses, and still, he stood, still, he sang, still, he screamed. But the body pays the price, and now, after decades of pushing himself past the breaking point, maybe Ozzy is just tired. Maybe that message to Piers wasn't dramatic, that it was honest, painfully, beautifully honest, a way of saying, I don't need to scream anymore. I've already said it all. And he has. Every album, every interview, every backstage moment soaked in sweat, blood, and legacy was him giving a piece of himself to the world. And now, what does he have left to prove? He was the Prince of Darkness, but now he wants light, peace, family, stillness, and there's no shame in that. Only wisdom. That it's hard to imagine Ozzy Osbourne without the roar of the crowd behind him. But maybe that's what makes this moment so powerful. The stillness is no longer the enemy, that it's the reward. He's earned the right to rest, that to step away, to be remembered, not for how he ended, but for how he endured. This message, this haunting, private whisper from Ozzy to Piers, might be his quiet masterpiece. The punctuation at the end of a wild, beautiful sentence, that a moment that forces even the loudest voices, like Piers Morgan, to pause. Think about that for a second. Piers Morgan, silenced, not by controversy, not by critics, but by respect, because he felt it, too. The finality, the dignity, the heartbreak. Ozzy may not be gone, but he is different now. And that's what makes this moment so delicate, that we're not mourning a death, we're witnessing a transformation, a transition from the man who once jumped into hotel pools fully clothed with a bottle of Jack, to the man who now sits by the window, holding Sharon's hand, watching the sunset, quiet, but not defeated. Because this Ozzy still matters, still inspires, still echoes. He just does it differently, through memory, through impact, through legacy. And if this truly is the end of an era, it deserves reverence. That it deserves more than tabloid headlines or clickbait. It deserves storytelling, truth, humanity, because behind the sunglasses and the swagger was always a boy from Birmingham who believed he'd never amount to anything. And somehow, that boy built an empire out of sound. So maybe this is the final riff. Maybe this is the last verse in the song, but it won't be forgotten, because fans don't forget authenticity. They don't forget the ones who bled for them, who screamed for them, who fell, rose, and fell again, and kept showing up. Ozzy showed up when his body was failing, when doctors said he couldn't tour, when pain screamed louder than the crowd. That he still showed up for his band, for his fans, for music. And now, if he's choosing to step away, he deserves to do so with grace, not sadness, not pity, just gratitude. So if this message was truly his quiet exit, let it be received not with tears, but with applause. A standing ovation, not for what he was, but for what he gave. Because somewhere in the world right now, a teenager is plugging in a second-hand amp, playing Crazy Train for the first time, screaming the chorus into the void, feeling seen for the first time. That's Ozzy, that's the echo, that's the legacy, and it won't fade, because echoes don't need a stage, they don't need a spotlight, they just need a heart willing to remember. And maybe yours will be one of them. This isn't goodbye, it's not a funeral, it's a moment, a breath, a soft, dignified pause from a man who taught the world how to scream. And now, finally, he whispers, thank you, Ozzy. This is Rise Untold.